Folks, welcome to episode 33 of Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And me and Robert are here. We want to talk Monday Night Raw real quick. That's going to be the only subject of discussion. Check out my last video, the Battleground predictions and preview video with Casey Briggs. Leave a like on the video, and if you like the content, hit subscribe. Not a big deal. Robert, we are here to talk Monday Night Raw, sir. Let's start right from the top of the show. This is the first show since the brand split. Michael Cole welcomes everyone to the show. Mick Foley's in the ring with Stephanie McMahon, and they basically are upset that Roman Reigns didn't get the job done. He basically cost Seth Rollins the match last night at the pay-per-view or live event, whatever you want to call it now, on the network. And they call Roman a loser, and then they select people to be put in these fatal four-ways. Long story short, 8 guys are selected, and Roman's one of them. Why are you giving Roman Reigns a opportunity if you just said he was a loser?
They're probably looking towards the future. Keep him a little strong.
Yeah, I bet. It doesn't make sense to me why they would do something like that. But the main thing I wanted to take away from this segment, at least, was what did you overall think of the new logo and the new camera angles, the new setup? The announcer table is back up at the top section, how it was kind of in 2003 era.
Now, you saw when you put those logos up on the page, I hated them. I kind of like the Raw one now that I saw it live on TV. It makes sense. The stage, as you know, it's an old SummerSlam stage just reused. It looks good, though. I like it. I got nothing to complain about tonight.
My main thing was as long as you changed something up, it couldn't remain the same with any of this. Yeah. So I was glad that they did that. And the logo kind of grew on me. And I was even going to say I was digging the different camera angles even tonight. So Kevin Dunn, I'll give you credit where credit's due. Just make sure you catch all the action is the main part. I know there were times where I was getting worried he still wasn't going to be able to do it. We get into the very first fatal four-way. First four-way had the following people. We had Rusev, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor. Finn Balor making his roster debut. Robert, you had any thoughts on this match here?
Now, I actually walked in the middle of this match, but I had it on. My dad was talking to me on the phone while I was on in the background, so I didn't really miss too much. I got hyped when I saw it.
Yeah, it was a back and forth kind of match there. I mean,
everybody looked good in the match.
Yeah, and I didn't feel any awkward transitions. Like sometimes, you know, when you have a triple threat or a fatal four-way, these guys will do something where they're trying to, I'm going to grab this guy, throw him out, and then I'm going to walk around into this move. And it didn't feel clunky too much in that match to me. I was like, oh, it felt smooth. The transitions were good. I like it. Finn Balor picks up the big victory in his Raw debut. I got nothing, man. He goes up, he hits the double foot stomp on Rusev for the win. The coup de grace, I'm sorry, is the name of it. Hits double foot stomp on Rusev for the victory.
We'll say Rusev was the right guy to take the pin.
Yes.
He doesn't look weak in defeat because they all look good in the match. Nobody came out any worse for anything. So
yeah, so
they did it right.
Finn Balor winning puts him in the main event. Because of the other fatal four-way, whoever wins that one will face the winner of this one, which was Finn Balor in the main event of tonight's show. So we will get to that. Next, we have Nia Jax. Oh, I didn't even catch this girl's name. Britt Baker. Robert, from your time watching NXT, what do you think of Nia Jax? Is this the good call-up for her right now, or is it a little too early?
She's gotten better, and she's only going to get better. I get it. They need a bigger presence for the women's division. I feel like it was a good call-up. You know, my dad loved it.
Yeah, Nia Jax has
Robbie J goes.
Nia Jax has a great presence about her. She was at like the cusp of, I don't think she's green anymore. She doesn't look awkward in the ring. And I felt the same way about Carmella and Alexa Bliss. I'm like, they felt like they were just getting into their prime in NXT, and I thought that one of them were going to wind up with the belt. But now that they're on the main roster, let's see what they can do. Nia looked really good in it, though. And another thing that's going to come up on this show, I'll bring it up in the Braun Strowman match. But the enhancement talent matches, I like them. I think it makes the guys look stronger versus having the repetitive competitive matches, and then you're going to do the 50-50 booking. Like, okay, you get a win this time, you get a win, and you get a win, and you get a win. Basically, the Oprah thing. Come on.
I don't know, the squash match, they work.
Yeah. I'm just saying you have one or two. You don't have to have like 6 of them every week. It used to be back in the old
overkill like they did with Ryback.
Yeah. Don't do too many of them.
Yeah.
So you get Goldust and R-Truth. They're in the back playing Pokemon Go. They interrupt Sasha Banks, who's preparing for her match with Charlotte. It was announced in the beginning of the show, also with Stephanie and Mick Foley, that Sasha Banks is getting a shot at the Women's Championship tonight against Charlotte. Then she made her tap out the night before at the pay-per-view. So we get to the Fatal 4-Way, the next one, which had Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho, Sheamus, and Sami Zayn. A complete different mixture of guys in this one. This one seemed like the old veterans in there, and Sami Zayn. Shout outs to Robert for posting the picture in the Everything Pro Wrestling group of Sami Zayn looking like Dustin Diamond, aka Screech. Hilarious, folks. The side-by-side picture will make you laugh. I'm sorry, Sami Zayn. You're still one of my favorites, but that was funny. What did you think of this 4-way, though, Rob? I mean,
another great match. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I enjoyed it.
I thought everyone in here hustled pretty well, too. Like, there wasn't no laziness or anything about it. I even thought Sheamus looked pretty good in the match. Usually I'm not the biggest Sheamus supporter, but you saw a lot of good stuff in here. Sami Zayn really impressed me once again. Did his thing.
Before we go any further, anybody that's been hating on Jericho since his comeback, go somewhere. Jericho looked amazing.
I don't think Jericho's as bad as everyone says he is. I don't know where everyone's I don't know where everyone's getting that exact thought from. At first he did look a little bit like he wasn't himself, but once he got the ring rust off, I thought he's been fine since.
Oh yeah.
So we get into the match, and Chris Jericho once again takes the pinfall because he's a good guy and eats the spear from Roman Reigns. Now, this was met by a shower of boos. So this sets up the main event for the evening. It will be Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. At this point, what were you thinking? Were you hyped about this?
I was sort of. I had a feeling that they were going to go with Finn, but I didn't think they were going to pull the trigger this fast.
I mean,
did you say this before we got there? Roman Reigns came out to a shower of boos. He got a couple chants going towards the middle of the end of the match, and then when he won, they booed him again. But
yeah, you feel, I don't know. Some people felt bad for him, and some people
I can't feel bad for him.
Huh?
I can't feel bad for him right now. That whole drug test failure.
Yeah, he's
hurt. I don't know, but
yeah,
I still support him. But I can't feel bad for him.
We'll see what they do with Roman. We'll get into that in the main event. New Day comes out and they cut a promo about how they are the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions. I'm going to let you guys know it's not true. It's demolition. Yes, it's really demolition, folks. So if you hear someone saying that, that'll be a little fact that you can bust them on. But with this, when they created those SmackDown titles, they're trying to use that lineage. Whatever. That's fine. Also, the Bootio cereal is real. So shout out to my man at work, Tori. He posted it up because his kids were asking for that cereal. Oh, it's a real cereal now. So good luck.
$13 a box.
$13. But what do you get with it? Is that FYE? Don't you get a T-shirt or an action figure or something with it?
I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. It's Lucky Charms.
Right. And it's the New Day. But
you're just paying for the box.
I saw a lot of people starting to hate on New Day actually during this segment too, which was kind of surprising a little bit. I thought New Day did their best with what the segment was, what it was supposed to be. But no segment ends perfectly. They had some guy, what was his name? Sunny Boy?
Sunny Boy.
I don't know what the joke was supposed to be with that, but there was some horrible acting in there by whoever Sunny Boy is. I don't know if he's on creative or whatever, but let the wrestlers do the acting, please. He was a horrible plant. Lucha Underground would have been very disappointed by this. But so New Day's in the ring, they're doing their thing, and they're celebrating and stuff after. Who comes out to stop them?
The Club.
the Club, Anderson and Gallows, basically pull them out of the ring and put a pretty bad beat down on them. So it looks like we're going to be set up for Anderson and Gallows versus New Day for the tag titles at SummerSlam. A match I think we've all predicted since Anderson and Gallows' debut was going to happen. I'm calling it now. I think Anderson and Gallows take the tag belts from them.
Should.
Yeah. So what did you think, Rob? You think that Anderson and Gallows look strong in the beatdown here?
Oh yeah. They kind of look like they missed a couple spots, but like I don't know what it is with them. I feel like they're like off a step.
I think they're still trying to transition from New Japan.
Yeah, New Japan was a lot more stiff.
Yeah, here you got to be careful who you pop in the face.
Yeah.
So we get to the return of Neville. Adrian Neville comes back to defeat Curtis Axel. What was Curtis Axel's new nickname?
Mr. Irrelevant.
No, Mr. Was it Undesirable?
Damn, I didn't hear that.
We don't care. He was the last person picked in the draft. They basically treated him like the last kid picked for kickball in gym class. He was pretty upset, but he was like, they saved the best for last. Curtis Axel, he did his best here. He did his job, what he was supposed to do. Neville looked great. He looked like he didn't miss a step. Are you happy to see Neville return? Is he one of your favorites?
I enjoy Neville's work. I don't know how far they're going to take him with Finn coming up now.
Would you
cruiserweight division coming up?
Would you make him the face of the cruiserweight division?
Nope.
On Raw. Ooh, so
you put the winner of the cruiserweight classic should be the face, which was probably. I'm going to put my money on Kota Ibushi.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's who I picked as well to win it all. So we'll see. That'll be interesting to see what happens and how fast they get this division started up, because there was a graphic, I believe, right before this match started talking about the division again. And eventually, I think you have to put a belt in it if you're going to have a division like that. Bob Backlund, this crazy guy, is backstage talking to Darren Young. And Goldust and R-Truth come up once again, basically talking about some Pokemon Go stuff. It must be the new craze, so they decided to use it. Backlund freaks out, yelling at Darren Young about he's going to get the Intercontinental Championship. Have you been enjoying Darren Young's push with Backlund?
Not necessarily. I enjoy Backlund more than I do the act, so that's just me.
Yeah, and Darren Young, I don't know. He's got potential. I think he's better than Titus, so I'm still giving this a try. I'm not going to write him off yet. So we get to Charlotte and Dana Brooke. They're cutting a promo about Sasha Banks. She's never going to get the title, whatever they say. We get to the match. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. I don't know, man. This is tough. I'm going to give this match of the night. I am. This match definitely delivered, and it earned me respect for both ladies, even more than I already had. I had a tremendous amount of respect for what they brought to women's wrestling. There were lots of good spots in this match, lots of scary spots even.
That guy, damn it.
Which one? Sasha's?
Either one, but Sasha's. Yeah.
Sasha's was crazy, and Charlotte scares me when she does the moonsault because it reminds me of Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes style. Like, I feel like they get so high up, and it comes right down on her legs. But she was a gymnast, so you got to have faith in her.
Yeah.
Lots of good spots in this match, even. I guess at the end here, Sasha has Charlotte in the bank statement. Charlotte winds up getting to the ropes. And then I can't remember what exactly she said, but there's a part in the match, they're both down, and she looks over at her and she says, "You'll never beat me, ever." And runs into her, bank statement, locks it in, and Charlotte has no choice but to tap out. And I was shocked that they did the title switch right here instead of holding out till SummerSlam. But I think they felt like the iron was hot and they had to make a move. What did you think of the match overall, Robert?
I thought it was an incredible match. I know I would have waited till SummerSlam, but I know why they did it. They're trying to build up this whole competition thing between Raw and SmackDown, which makes sense. Speaking of SmackDown, I don't know how we're gonna do tomorrow.
I don't know, man. We will both actually be live at SmackDown in Buffalo, New York. I'm kind of worried. I don't know. They got a lot to live up to the 3-hour Raw. Raw has more people though, and they did their thing tonight, I will say. for a brand split show. And Braun Strowman defeats James Ellsworth. When Byron interviewed this guy before the match, he looked scared to death. And he definitely looked like someone who you're like, what's he doing in there? But he definitely did a good job putting Braun over. And what was up with his haircut?
I don't know. It's new look, new. I don't know what his gimmick's gonna be, but
he just shaved the sides of his head, if anyone's wondering, and had the hair like falling down. So we'll see where they go with it. I mean, he didn't wear the mask or anything, but he had the same outfit on. So I don't know where the
prediction for this. He's gonna go through these squash matches. He's gonna crush all these little guys. Big Show's gonna come out. Oh, you like picking on people? Pick on someone your own size. Big Show's gonna lose. It's gonna eventually lead to a match between him and Big Cass. And I think Big Cass is gonna be the one to stop his reign of terror.
You heard it here first.
Rob. Also, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the face he was talking about.
Oh God. Yeah, there were some funny memes coming out from it that I had saw, but I'm not even. I won't even dare to post them in our. Enzo and Cass come out. They're doing their promo and they get interrupted by the Shining Stars. Oh man, this might as well have been another squash match. The Shining Stars come out. These guys have no hope. They need so bad to come back and make this right.
True.
Robert, if let's just say Carlito can't come back, is there any way that you can make these guys entertaining?
Have them dance, something. I don't know.
They got nothing, man. I don't even think dancing would help them at this point. Brodus Clay couldn't save them. So, basically, I don't even remember who turns around into the big boot. Epico or Primo, one of them gets nailed with Big Cass, hits him with the test big boot, and that's thank goodness.
Which one's the bigger one? One's a little bit taller. I think it's Primo.
I think it's Primo who's bigger.
He took it.
Yeah. So we're at the end of the show. Finn Balor and Roman Reigns had like a exchange of words backstage. I thought Finn came off as a heel, kind of talking. I don't know how to put this. I felt he was a jerk, for lack of better terms. Like I felt like he was talking a little trash to him. Like, yeah, well, we invented the luck of the Irish, so if you want some, come get some out there. And Roman basically was like, oh, okay, I'm surprised. We get to the match. Finn Balor, Roman Reigns. A lot of people on Twitter were talking about this match, and they could not believe everyone basically wrote it off like, man, you can't have Finn lose this match. They were all worried about it. Roman wins this, it sends a bad message, whatever. They're all complaining.
I was one of those.
Oh, see, everyone thought that. I'm like, well, let's see what happens here. I always try and say, let's watch the outcome before we start complaining. But this was a heck of a match. If you didn't see it, this is another one you have to go see. I will put this at second best match of the night.
Absolutely.
They were lots of near falls, had your heart jumping. That Superman punch, my heart even jumped a little bit. I'm like, oh, God, no. But what happens is Balor reverses the spear, catches him with a nasty sling blade, and then follows up with the drop kick into the corner. And then when he went up to the top, I'm like, I'm waiting for Roman to move, but he didn't move. The coup de grace double foot stomp right on Roman Reigns. 1, 2, 3. And where this leads to from the whole storyline is now Seth Rollins was automatically #1 contender because Stephanie said my #1 pick gets to be #1 contender. So Seth Rollins will face Finn Balor at SummerSlam for a new title that they're creating called the Universal title. And I saved this for the end on purpose.
I hate that name.
I hate that name as well. I'm like, is this WWE 2K16 with the created belts? I'm just not a fan of it. I see something like a big New Japan belt that they're going to try and make out of this. That's my prediction. But Rob, what did you think of the main event and basically the build up to SummerSlam and the Universal title and everything?
I thought the main event was great. I felt it got Finn's move over as believable because it knocked over Roman Reigns, who was the Golden Boy for so long. I don't know where they're going with this Reigns thing now. What do you have for him now?
Yeah, well, let me touch on it real quick. Reigns, after the match, basically says that he wants another shot at Finn. He said, yeah, I'd like another shot.
Then.
What'd you say?
Yeah, about a month. until that match happens, and then I don't know.
I don't know where they go with Reigns now. It's going to be interesting to see where they develop these other stories from. So they got right into it, and the Universal title. What do you think of that? Is that
unless they're going to defend it on Mars or any other universe, that's a terrible name. Just like the Intercontinental, they don't defend it in other countries. They started doing that, but
I hate the fact that I don't know that they had to create another belt. I'm not one for all these extra titles. I don't think it's needed, but that's just me. We'll see how it pans out. I knew that I was going to get my way on that one. I'd like to see all the championships go back and forth. Probably not going to happen.
Look what happened with the World Heavyweight title when they brought that back. Started out with strong with Triple H when he was defending it. Chris Benoit got it, then it became secondary, and then it just became an afterthought. Opened up WrestleMania in an 18-second match.
Yep. And Undertaker was the last guy to main event at WrestleMania holding it. And him and Triple H are the only two who ever did. So that shows you the value of the belt. So I hope they keep this title strong and make it mean something. But that's it for the Raw review, folks. And like we said before, Robert, myself, and several other EPW members will be going to SmackDown Live in Buffalo, New York tomorrow. I hope to have a review up shortly after we leave. So that'll be a live experience versus how it came off on television. So I would love to hear your thoughts on Raw in the comment section below. Once again, if you did like the video or you like the conversation, leave a like. And if you ever want to join in on one of the videos or whatever, follow me on Twitter. Leave me a message, and we can work something out and get you on the show. Rob, you got any shout-outs you want to give?
Shout out Bruce Lee.
No doubt. The legend. We are out, folks. Thank you for your time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and check in again. Thank you.
Peace.